First of all, thank you all for coming here and speaking some kind words about me. I was wondering, is that the same person I am? But yes, to some extent. But let me just recollect some of the key points which you have spoken about. The first is my passion for reading. That started from because of a small incident. It happened in my childhood with my father. What happened was that in one of the vacations, I wanted to maybe go to uncle's house or something like that. Then he was not very supportive. Then he said, "Why do you want to go to uncle's house?" Then I just searched for some answer because I have to give some, excuse for maybe going there and staying there for some time. Then I said, there we have a lot of books. Then he said, okay, for that you need not go and join the library nearby. So then I joined, my brother may be knowing, joined a library nearby and started reading. So that gave me some passion. Those days I never used to understand what I am reading. But some of the books, see, when I borrow from the library and bring it home, my father will read and say that it's a good book. Then I also think, okay, it's a good book. That's how it all started. But later on, say during my college days also, somehow I felt that, okay, I should read more. And thanks to all my teachers, say, I don't have time to describe everything, but some of my teachers have influenced so much. Say, we studied in St. Albert's School here in Ernakulam. My brother also was in the same school. So we had very passionate teachers who gave us a lot of value. And some of the readings have actually come from the reading habit, and maybe identifying the right books have actually come from there. Similarly, in college days also the same thing repeated. On some of the subjects I used to read 2 or 3 books so that I know everything. But that's what some of you have described. During maybe Sci-base, etc., we were all put into water. What Johnson was telling, what happened was that we had an external agency who was expected to support us to give those things. What they have done is that they have created maybe 2 or 3 page document and said, you do this. And I started working and nothing was working. So I was constrained to even read. Thanks to that reading habit, at least I could understand some of the things and take it forward. Yeah. And the other thing I need to tell about those days is that I interacted with most of you and I could learn what are your problems. Then I know that, okay, because of my strength in reading, somehow I will get the solution. It is not that it was any special, what you call, capability I had. I was just searching for that, solution, and somehow I got it. That's how the whole thing was built. And thankfully, each phase has its own share of learning. Not only from the books, but from all the colleagues I have worked with. So that's why I may not be able to describe everything, but each and every incident has actually helped me in taking it to the next stage. Yeah, and I know when I say all these things, maybe what probably my family, specifically Vandana, may be suffering more because I used to spend very less time on maybe many of the things which we cared about, but she took care of it. And specifically I need to tell, for example, when we moved to for the treasury, Mumbai, see, actually we were in a dilemma. Because that was the first time, initially we thought it will all be technology department, it will be in Alva only, like that. And we were all, staying here. So moving to Mumbai, how it can be managed. Thankfully at that time, my brother-in-law also was in Mumbai. So we were there for a year or so. by that time, then he got transferred. That was a solace. And she has taken leave during that period. And she has joined me and helped a lot. See, in every step, we were actually struggling. Sometimes I come home and maybe describe all these things. She sometimes remembers all the problems. And after a few weeks, again, she will ask me whether, that has been solved. So all these things, what Srikanth was telling or what Abraham was telling, all these things, it has happened because of the support which I have received from both the colleagues, my family members, etc. And I used to, yes, my brother was the customer of Federal Bank even before, actually, father also was the customer of Federal Bank, even before I joined Federal Bank. Later on, he has been continuing with that. And another thing, what used to happen is that whenever I go home, I will have a number of complaints, including the feds of days. What have genuine problems? Say, for example, those days stock statement is given, then you will have to enter into the system. And if you don't, record it properly, what can happen is that some charges will be taken. So father will complain saying that, in my account, he used to calculate everything and say that, more charges are taken. Then he will complain to the branch, and branch will tell it is FedSoft, you tell your son. Okay. Then I started inquiring, then they said the stock statement was not given. That was the first response what I got. Then I went and told him again, those days no phones, so only weekends it happens. Then he will say, I have given, that they haven't entered. Okay, this was the cycle. And maybe all these things, I come and maybe fight with some of the colleagues. Even people in compliance may know this. When brother has some problem, I will come and tell them, all our processes, there are weaknesses. Some people think that I get something, but all these things because of these type of interactions. So why I am telling all these things is, okay, that is how the life is for everyone. Everyone, maybe when they are coming to this world, it is said that we will come with some agenda, which is, predestined. For me, the Federal Bank was a maybe predestined thing. And I never knew, some of the colleagues I have told this also, initially I was thinking maybe I may continue for 4 to 5 years. Because, again, I was a software developer, what Johnson was telling. That company where I was working, it was an arrangement I had on technical support. That's where Tally installation I was doing. Now, in some of the interactions what I had heard about the word SQL, Oracle, etc. But which I was not aware. So I thought I will start learning it. Thankfully, I got a course where I could learn. It was incidentally Power Builder and Sybase. Though I opted for Oracle, they said, now we have a Power Builder Sybase course, so better you learn Sybase. And later on when I joined the bank, that was the exact combination that has come. So that is what Jojo sir was telling, I was knowing all these things. It was only because, just a coincidence, because I had attended a course and I had done some software development. And another thing is, Jojo sir may remember, KNC sir was the head at that time, chief manager who is heading the department. Then he asked everyone, what do you want to do? So everyone, when somebody is joining the technology department, they want to write the codes. I was the only person who has written the code, implemented it, and maybe done everything else. So I said anything is okay with me. So I was put to implementation. And implementation, when we started, then only I knew that there were a lot of gaps. And even many people have spoken about my stint with maybe teaching, that also has come by default only. What happened was that during the FedSoft days, the developers who were developing the software were expected to train also. All those programmers never knew how to teach. So I was initially asked, Vinu may remember, the first batch I was asked to make a simple presentation on introduction to Power Builder. Then I said, okay, I will do that. Then after 1 or 2 weeks, when the feedback was taken, they said the only session which they could understand was what I had actually presented. Then they said, okay, why don't you teach clearing? When clearing was implemented in a pilot branch, I knew that. Then he said, okay, why don't you teach this also? That's how I became that. And Sybase story I told. Sybase again, say when it came to us for implementation, nothing was there. So I had to learn and do it. Say I'm not taking too much time. Every senior who has worked in the department, some of the, including, I'm fortunate to have the comments from MD, EDs, etc. Yeah, they have supported like anything. Maybe they would have recognized some of the things I understand better, basically because of these type of interactions. But that all has given me the strength. And I should say, even in the compliance department also, Sunil has explained. See, what we have tried to do there is that at least the 3 seniors, Sunil, I and Matthews, were actually trying to complement each other. We all had capabilities which maybe others may not have. So I learned from him, he learns from me, and we both learn from Matthews also, and maybe pass on to the other team members. And I was fortunate also to have very good team, whether it is in maybe IT or treasury or say even compliance. And it may not be right not to mention about another department where I have worked, that is service quality. See, though I have worked there only for 1 year, some of the things which we are still continuing in service quality, there is process improvement, you know about what is called Friday updates, even now we are having, which is now handled by marketing. See, all this we had actually conceptualized, or the concept of a quality support officer, which later on was combined with the role of the maybe EA to the regional head. All these things have happened during that 1 year, where we have conceptualized it. By the time, the overall plan was done, some reason, because suddenly there was a Finacle migration, so we have to be moved. Though I didn't continue in IT at that time, I went to operations for a year and then went to treasury. So since everyone has spoken about the treasury experiences, etc., I am not adding too much into it. And about the passions, at least the team ensured that my songs are not good enough. So that gives me some sort of a what you call conviction that I should learn more. Okay, and I never used to sing publicly, but Vandana knows that every day I sing. Okay, now and Abhay also knows. And he has contributed in a different way, because in olden days he was the hardware engineer in our home. So he used to make the first what you call record player by himself, and he used to play the same cassettes again and again. That's where how I have learned some of the early days of music. And we had quite a good collection of cassettes those days, but later on migrated to maybe internet. Now maybe a lot of thing. One thing about it is that we need not bother too much about the copyright and other things. So we can learn from any source, and maybe the composers like Tyagaraja, etc., will never come back to you saying that, okay, do you have a copyright? Okay, so that is one thing. And second thing is, the older the music, probably it's much more enjoyable, at least for us. I don't know about others. Okay, so that is the thing. And I also need to mention about what Srikanth has spoken about, our passion with the homeopathy. I mean, we have been using homeopathic medicine for a long time, and maybe to a large extent we were very comfortable. And thankfully, that is one of the reasons why I was fortunate enough not to have any maybe medical bills to be claimed from the bank. Okay, and I hope that going forward also we will have maybe a good health. We were doing some of the practices for including part of yoga and other exercises also. We will continue to do that. And say again, I would like to thank each one of you for coming here, and the team who has actually arranged it. See, as you would have noticed by now, this is more a what you call official cum personal function. Because we never wanted, if I asked you to come for 2 days, it may not work. So that's why we thought we will have in this format. Maybe there are some inconveniences for some of you. Sorry for that. But overall, I think, say, the team has actually done quite well. Because after the initial idea, I couldn't spend too much time on the thing, but the team in compliance has actually done that. And thank you, Sunil, for permitting all these things, even within the office time, maybe with small inconveniences, etc. Thank you once again. Okay.